answer. Today's show is all about women and laws. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this one.
Hi, I'm Christine.
And I'm Karyani.
And today we will be talking about police dogs.
As we all know, dog is man's best friend. In fact, certain dogs get to work with people every day through the good, the bad, and the ugly.
These special canines are called police dogs. They work with policemen to fight crime. Some of the dogs in law enforcement are cadaver dogs, drug dogs, and patrol dogs. First, we will talk to you about cadaver dogs.
You should hold on to your lunch because this dog might give you a hunch. Cadaver dogs are dogs specially trained to sniff out the scent of rotting bodies under the earth. The law enforcement usually uses cadaver dogs to smell lakes, oceans, and other bodies of water if they suspect a criminal has discarded their victim into one of these areas.
Now we will introduce you into drug dogs. You usually see these types of dogs in airports, police stations, parades, and so forth. Drug dogs are trained to smell many different types of drugs, mostly in airports, such as when people's suitcases are in person's pocket. When the dog smells something suspicious, the officer they're with will ask them to follow them to have a more thorough examination. Way to go, buddy.
And finally, I will introduce you to the patrol dog. Patrol dogs are a very unique kind of dog involved in police work. Patrol work for dogs includes a dog of high stamina, advanced off-leash agility, and effective obedience.
Patrol dogs don't really leave the police station, but patrol the perimeter of the police station. These obedience dogs make sure nobody unwelcome finds their way into the station. They sniff one side of the fence while looking for any sign of movement. Without them, the police station will be crawling with creeps.
I hope you learned a lot about police dogs and the meaning of their services.
For Girl TV, I'm Christine.
And I'm Karyani.
Bye!
Hey, guess what?
What?
Did you know police have to be strong and do fitness in order to be a police officer?
No, that's so cool.
Yeah, they have to run really far, quick, so they can catch the bad guys.
Uh-oh.
What?
The camera's been on while we've been talking.
Well, I guess we just tell them too.
Number 1. Police have a sit and reach test, a measure of flexibility of the lower back and upper leg area.
Number 2, they also have a 1-minute sit-up test. This is a measure of their muscular endurance.
Number 3. The 1.5-mile run. This is a time test.
Now we are going to tell you about how to prepare for a physical test.
First, preparing for a sit and reach test. Sit on the floor with legs straight, and then slowly reach for your feet and hold for 10 seconds.
Second, preparing for a sit-up test. Do as many bent leg sit-ups as you can in 1 minute.
Third, preparing for the 1.5-mile run. To prepare for this test, you need to run a little bit at a time and increase the distance each time.
Don't forget to make it in at the certain time limit.
Also, our local police station has its very own gym, so they don't have to go somewhere else to work out.
Amazing!
So what we are saying is that police have to pass the test in order to be a police officer.
So they have to stay in shape. Stay fit, police.
We hope you learned a lot about police fitness.
For Real TV, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Shayla.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Shayla.
And I'm Jamie.
And on this segment, we'll be sharing with you the history of fingerprints.
In the early days of police work, one of the biggest problems of the professional judge was not being able to confirm a suspect or likely criminal was a repeat offender.
The world then, just like now, frowned on the career of criminal.
Different countries took different approaches to crime problems.
France took advantage of branding the criminals with the fleur-de-lis symbol to indicate that they had offended the crown before.
Rome sometimes tattooed their criminals.
In the 1800s, some areas began to photograph criminals as they went to prison.
The technique became more popular in the 1800s with the arrival of the Kodak camera, which was a lot quicker and easier to use.
There were many other methods used to catch and identify criminals.
For example, a French anthropologist used body measures, like the length of a leg bone, to catch a repeat offender.
This method was discovered to be faulty in 1903 in Kansas when 2 men by the same name had the same leg measurements. It's a good thing that fingerprinting started to play a role in solving crimes.
Fingerprints are also unique, that their success rate beats even DNA identifications.
Did you know that fingerprints were used even in ancient times?
In ancient China, fingerprints were used as signatures and identified individuals in official records.
But it wasn't until 1887 in India when a British administrator accidentally discovered the practical use of fingerprints.
He was looking for a way to prevent forgery and impersonations and discovered that fingerprints helped to identify a person.
After many experiments, the administrator realized that no two prints are alike.
In 1890, after 8 years of testing, the FBI created a computerized criminal fingerprint.
Then, in 1983, the FBI created the National Crime Information Center, allowing information on criminals to be shared between federal and local governments. Pretty cool, huh?
Did you know that by 1989, all fingerprint requests were done on the computer, and that changed the process from taking 14 days to 1?
Fingerprinting and identifications are still key to solving criminal cases, and even though new technology relies on DNA, fingerprints are still used and heavily relied on. Now you know a lot more about fingerprints. For Girl TV, I'm Shayla.
And I'm Jamie.
Bye!
Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Christine.
On today's Smart segment, we will be talking about what forensic means and how they use them in the law.
Forensics includes DNA samples, fingerprints, blood tests, and a lot more. The word forensics means scientific tests or techniques used in investigation of crimes.
A forensic artist can be used to sketch a likeness of an accused person based on the witness or witness's description.
They are not portraits and only deliver the basic appearance of the person. In some cases, a forensic sketch artist is used to identify the skeletal remains and put them together as a sketch or mold of the person's face.
The artist can make a 3D model out of clay using bone structure and tissue depth.
DNA is a big part of forensics. DNA shows up in skin cells, hair, and blood types. DNAs of each individual are very different in every person. Since DNA is present in every cell of the human body, using DNA tests in investigations is very helpful for evidence.
Computer forensics is used in many fields, from legal issues involving trade secrets to prevention of computer-related fraud. However, more and more computer forensics is being used to help solve crimes of all types. Computer forensics is an excellent tool for prosecutors and police in the courtroom.
Computer forensics is playing a growing role in the U.S. courts, and electronic forensics experts are called upon in a variety of types of criminal cases. Theft, embezzlement, and fraud may have computer records and evidence that is reviewed by a forensic specialist.
There's very little done in business today that doesn't involve computers at some level.
TV shows like Law & Order and CSI show just how forensics works to solve crimes.
Hope you've learned a lot about different types of forensics. Pretty cool stuff, huh?
Yeah.
For Girl TV, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Christine.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Kyla.
And I'm Helena.
Today we're talking about the 3 branches.
The first one that we're doing is the judicial branch.
The judicial branch is where the Supreme Court takes place.
It's where the judges decide if the law is right or if the people obeyed the law or not.
The Supreme Court was made up of the Constitution and Bill of Rights.
The Congress decides where to place each judge.
There are 13 judicial circuits.
There are 94 district courts in the USA.
The Supreme Court started on February 2nd, 1790.
The next one we're doing is the legislative branch.
The legislative branch is where there are important people who write the laws and bills.
The legislative branch writes bills for laws.
The legislative branch is divided into 2 parts.
There are 435 representatives and 100 senators currently.
The final branch we are doing is the executive branch.
The executive branch is where the president comes in.
Don't forget vice president and cabinet members.
Oh yeah, they decide if the law is okay to be made one.
For Girl TV, I'm Kyla.
And I'm Helena. Bye!
Hi, I'm Jamie. Do you ever wonder what jobs there are in law and law enforcement? There are so many, and a common job in law enforcement is a police officer. Law is an amazing field, and there are many professions one can pursue. For example, you could be a judge, legal secretary, paralegal, and lawyer. A paralegal doesn't go to law school, but they do have to train and take several classes in law. A paralegal assists lawyers in legal work. Paralegals perform some of the same tasks as lawyers and investigate cases to make sure that lawyers know all the important facts. Paralegals also do legal research. They look up laws and past cases and book it on computers. Then, they write up reports that lawyers use to prepare their cases. Another job in law is courtroom reporter. A courtroom reporter is a person whose job is to change spoken or recorded speech into written form. A criminal investigator, FBI for example, is a federal law enforcement agency that is the principal investigate arm of the Department of Justice. FBI stands for Federal Bureau of Investigation. A police officer is a person who catches criminals and puts them in a jail or prison for a certain amount of time, depending on what they did. Thanks for joining me today. For Girl TV, I'm Jamie. Bye.
Hi, I'm Madeline, and for today's Bold segment, I'm going to share an inside look at the brand new Sarasota Police Station. The recently completed station building is 3 times larger than the old police station, and 160 people work there. The police station is always open, and there are usually several officers on duty. Most officers work 12-hour shifts. Sounds tiring, huh? To help keep the police officers awake and alert, there are male and female dorms where they can relax or take a nap. This is particularly important for those officers who work the night shift. Also, there is a gym in the station where the officers can exercise to stay in shape. The records division is an important department. This is where all the records are kept on anyone involved in a crime, witnesses, victims, and suspects. In fact, these records are kept forever, even after the person is dead. From this information, police reports are generated, which helps with criminal investigations.
Hey guys, welcome to Records.
The new police station also has 3 holding cells where suspects are kept until they are interviewed, then either charged or released. These cells are bulletproof and soundproof, and are different than jail cells that hold suspects after they have been charged. The jail is located across the street next to the sheriff's department. 2 other important departments include the evidence room, where all criminal evidence is kept secure and fresh, and the criminalistics room, where fingerprinting and DNA testing are done. Finally, we got a close-up look at the garage, where all police vehicles are kept, including prisoner transport vans, K-9 vehicles, and motorcycles. There is also a bike shop where bicycles are kept for those officers who patrol on bike. So that's our inside look at the brand new Sarasota Police Station. Thanks for joining us on this tour.
Why do we need or even have laws? Laws are made to protect people and property. We have laws in this country for many reasons. One of the most important reasons is that laws help our society to function smoothly. For instance, what do you think would happen if there were no traffic laws such as obeying stop signs and traffic lights? If we didn't have laws such as those, we would find it hard to do our everyday business. Another reason we have laws is to protect the safety and basic rights of citizens. Here are some examples of what things would be like if we didn't have laws. When 2 streets cross each other, there is a stop sign. A law says you must stop when you see that stop sign. If you drive through that stop sign, you might hit another car. The people in the other car could be injured or even killed. Or let's say you have saved up all your birthday money and bought a brand new bike. The law says that that bike is now yours to keep. What if someone else saw that bike and liked it? Could they come and take the bike away from you? They might try, but that is against the law. They could be arrested. There are other reasons for laws too, like to handle disputes, errors, or poor judgment of a given person. In any society, arguments between citizens can break down a healthy structure, so the laws are in place to attempt to guarantee rights to members. So, let's say I want to steal a bag of candy from the store. I would decide not to, because the laws tell me not to, and if I break the law, I could get in big, big trouble. Laws keep us safe from danger. That's why we need them. For Girl TV, I'm Karyani. Bye!
This segment was brought to you by the law offices of Cyprid, Mashad, Resnick, Lieb, Dunmore, Jones, Krontech, and Westheimer. Thank you for supporting Girls Incorporated of Sarasota County. You inspire girls to be strong, smart, and bold. For more information on this sponsor, visit www.smrl.com.
Hi, I'm Kiryani, and today I am here with Miss Nancy Kaysen, who is a lawyer. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Karyana.
How did you decide you wanted to be a lawyer?
Well, I decided I wanted to be a lawyer when I was young. I was just always interested in the law, and there was nothing else that I ever wanted to be. So I was young, and I decided I wanted to be a lawyer, and I stuck with it.
Was there anybody who inspired you to be a lawyer?
Nobody in particular inspired me to be a lawyer. I used to watch a lot of the legal shows on TV, and I was always fascinated by what lawyers did. So I don't think there was anyone in particular, but I think that the media and the way lawyers were portrayed in the media had a lot to do with my fascination with the law, which ultimately led to me being a lawyer.
Okay. What type of lawyer are you?
Right now, I do primarily real estate transactions and litigation, which is commercial and residential real estate, buying and selling houses, and then litigation related to real estate, involving a lot of foreclosures, unfortunately, these days. I also do trust and probate litigation and general business law.
How long have you been a lawyer?
I have been a lawyer since 2002, so we're going on a little over 8 years at this point.
How long did you go to school, and what school did you go to?
Well, total I went to school for 7 years. I went to 4 years of undergraduate at the University of South Florida, and then I went to law school at the University of Florida, and law school takes 3 years. So I went to school for a total of 7 years.
What did you like the best about being a lawyer?
The best thing I like about being a lawyer is being able to help people that are in need of services. A lot of times when people have legal issues, it's a very stressful and uncertain time in their life, and so it's good for me to use my specialized legal knowledge to be able to help people maneuver their way through difficult times in their life and difficult legal issues that they're facing.
Where did you begin your career?
Well, that's an easy question because I've been at the same place for my entire career. I am a partner at the law firm of Seipert, Mishad, Resnick, Lieb, Dunbar, Jones, Krotek, and Westheimer. It's a lot of words, but those are all of my wonderful partners. I started there as a legal secretary in 1998 and worked there throughout law school. So when I became a lawyer in 2002, I started with the firm, made partner in about 2006, and I've been there ever since, and I'll be there for a very long time.
How much time do you spend in a courtroom?
I think that varies on any given week. I'm definitely in court several days per week, a couple hours per day. I would say maybe an average of 10 hours a week, give or take, depending on what kind of case I'm doing. If you're in trial, you can be in court all day, every day. But generally on any given week, I'd say I'm in court for a couple hours a day, a few days a week.
What has been your toughest case?
Well, that's an easy question because my toughest cases now are the residential foreclosure actions. Florida is going through, especially Sarasota, a really, really tough time in the real estate market, and a lot of families are facing foreclosure in their homesteads. So I'd say my most tough case so far this year has been the slew of residential foreclosure cases because it's really sad to see people going through such a hard time and families losing their homes. So it's my pleasure to try to help them through that process, but definitely it's an emotional process, and I think those are my toughest cases because it really affects families and children, and it really directly impacts their life and their home.
What advice would you give to girls that might want to grow up and be a lawyer?
Well, that's easy as well. My best advice is to always be true to yourself and to keep focused, to get good grades in school, and to establish yourself in a community service organization so that you get a lot of experience doing community work. I would also encourage any young girl who wants to be a lawyer to work in a law firm at the bottom level as a receptionist, as a runner, anything that you can do to get your foot into a law firm, to get experience in the legal profession. That will certainly go a long way when you get out of law firm to getting a job as a lawyer. So that's what I would tell any girl. Get good grades, do a lot of community service, and find a way to work in a law firm.
I understand that you went to Girls Inc. What did Girls Inc. teach you?
Well, Girls Inc. was a very important part of my life. I went to Girls Inc. after school throughout elementary and middle school, and I participated in the summer program. Girls Inc. taught me that you can do anything you want if you put your mind to it and if you're focused and if you work hard. It certainly inspired me to be the strong, smart, and bold woman that I am today. And I think that going to Girls Inc. had a lot to do with me becoming the woman I am, the confidence I have, and the Girls Inc. staff really instilled confidence in me and encouraged me to shoot for the stars, and that's what I did. So I owe a large part of my success to what I learned at Girls Inc. and certainly the people at Girls Inc. that helped me be who I am today.
Thank you for joining me today, Ms. Kaysen.
Thank you for having me.
For Girl TV, I'm Karyani. Bye.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and today we'll be interviewing Officer Sherry from the Sarasota Police Force. What did you want to be when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, I've always wanted to be a police officer.
How did you get interested in the law enforcement field?
I was working for a group of architects, and I had done some design work for several deputies that lived in my neighborhood who moved on to the forensic division of the Broward Sheriff's Office. They asked me if I wanted to do a ride-along. I gladly accepted, went out with them. I was interested in forensics from that day on. So with that, when I was old enough, I applied for the agency and was hired, and I've been in law enforcement ever since.
What kind of education and special training did you need for the job?
Well, at the time, I needed a high school diploma. Now it's a GED or a high school diploma, and with some college. And there's a 16-week police academy.
What is a typical day like on the police force?
Well, we work 12-hour shifts here. A typical day for me might be starting off with a theft or a burglary from the previous evening, maybe a shoplifter during the afternoon, and maybe one or two other similar type calls, burglaries or a theft later on, and crashes.
What is the toughest part of being a police officer?
The toughest part about being a police officer is, we always want to help victims, and we offer them advice and ways for them to better help themselves. The toughest part is when they either ignore your advice or they don't take your advice and they become victims again.
How many other women are on the Sarasota Police Force?
There's about 16 or 17 other women.
What is the most common type of crime you have to handle?
Probably the most common type of crime that I have to handle are thefts or burglaries.
What is the craziest crime you have seen?
The craziest was I had a man, got a call, a man that had a gun out in his front yard, and he was shooting at a tree. So when we finally were able to secure him and the gun, he told us that the bird in the tree was talking to him.
Okay. What do you like best about your job?
I like helping people the best and being there for them.
What is the most important thing people have to do in order to be safe in Sarasota?
One of the most important things is they have to be aware of their surroundings and not take unnecessary risks.
If you weren't a police officer, what do you think you would be doing for a living?
I think I would like to be an archaeologist for a living if I wasn't in law enforcement.
What advice would you give girls like me who want to grow up and be a police officer like you?
Go for it. Just go for it.
Thank you so much for being part of our show today. For Girl TV, I'm Rachel. Bye.
Goodbye.
Hi, I'm Jamie, and today I'm going to talk about Gloria Allred. Gloria Allred is a partner in the law firm of Allred, Marco and Goldberg, a Los Angeles-based firm. She has won countless awards for her pioneering legal work on behalf of women's rights and rights for minorities who are discriminated against on account of their gender, race, age, sexual orientation, or current physical condition. An active feminist, Ms. Allred founded and is currently serving as president of the Equal Rights Legal Defense and Education Fund. Recently, she was selected by USA Today as one of the 25 most important radio talk show hosts in America. She has also been nominated for an Emmy 3 times for her television commentaries. In 1985, Miss Allred was awarded the President's Award by the National Association of Women Lawyers. In 1986, she received a recommendation from the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors for her exceptional record of achievement, and a recommendation from Los Angeles Mayor Tom Brady for her many outstanding contributions to the justice system. In June 1986, at a White House luncheon, President Ronald Reagan presented her with the 1986 President's Volunteer Action Award. She is also the only individual in the nation to win the 1986 Public Service Award from the National Association of Federal Investigations, and Gloria was voted one of 1987's best lawyers in America by lawyers who won that honor in 1986. She again received this honor by being chosen again by one of her peers as one of the best lawyers in America in 1991. That's it for today. Bye!
Hi, I'm Gina. Have you ever wondered who the first woman police officer really was? In 1910, a 37-year-old woman named Alice Stebbin Wells became a police officer in Los Angeles. In 1909, Alice brought a petition to the mayor requesting that police women be hired. On September 12, 1910, Alice was the first policewoman to arrest people. Miss Wells was assigned to work with Officer Leo W. Martin. Her first duties were at dance halls, skating rinks, penny arcades, picture shows, and other similar places of public recreation. October 1912, 3 policewomen and 3 police matrons were in the department, and Miss Wells' publicity went up. In 1916, other cities and foreign countries were hiring policewomen too. 3 years later, Miss Wells persuaded the University of California to offer the first courses specifically on the work of police officers. Miss Wells certainly paved the way for other women in the police force. Hope you learned a lot about Alice Stebbin Wells. For Girl TV, I'm Gina. Bye!
Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Karyani, and today we're at the Sarasota Police Department headquarters.
And you're watching Girl TV.